Good morning, children. My name is SB Razu. I am dealing ninth class social studies. Today's topic is before going to announce the topic, so we up to some extent we could survive by healing air. That will be up to some period, small span of the period. And after that, what we require? We will become thirsty. Then we will require water. So whatever water resources surrounding on our earth surface comes under hydrosphere. So at the second lesson, the realms of the earth, there we discussed about four major realms surrounded on our earth. So the whatever water layer founded on the earth surface comes under hydrosphere. So today our topic is hydrosphere. Children, it is very surprising thing that when we can't guess how the water coming onto the ground and what's going on that huge amount of water when we observe at the time of the rain. So where that water is going on. So here and another surprising thing is that water when we observe a small stream of any river, that means Godavari, either Godavari, Krishna or anything. So just we observe a small catchment of the river stream at a particular place, we got surprised. We exclaim that how great depth of water it is, how great water resource it is. But so as per the geologist survey, according to the survey of the geologist, the total freshwater bodies that what are visible, where we are thinking that is a drinking water, the fresh water for us, that is completely only less than 1% or nearly 1%. So total fresh water on the earth surface available only 1% in the form of the water. So the majority part of the water is in the form of the oceans, means seas and oceans. Okay, children. See, we already know that water is a renewable resource. Water is a renewable resource. Water is a renewable resource. That means what? Which can be regenerated. Water can be regenerated again. If we waste one bucket of water, that means we could get another bucket of water from the ground. But that will be up to some extent. If we waste huge amounts of the water, so at the ground, we can't get it back again. Maybe we will be getting back again. So by the rainfall, if it is in time. Nowadays, the rainfall is also no guarantee, uncertainty of the rainfall. When the meteorologist giving the weather report that today rain is going on, but rain won't come. We can't say because of the movement of the air, the rain comes to the ground. Okay, children. So now we are discussing about water is a renewable resource. It can be goes to the underground and again it will be comes up when we fetch it up. Okay. So the natural thing to understand about the water cycle is water comes from the ground and reaches to the surface. Water comes from the oceans. Water comes from the oceans to the land and again, so water goes into the oceans by the land. So very simply example I am telling. So when the rain falls, what will happen? The rainwater will be joined to the nearby streams. At last it will become as a major river, and that river after flowing into a large catchment area, finally it will be joined to the sea. See, whatever in this way, many rivers will join to the seas. So that means sea is a huge water body which can adjoin many rivers and it naturally has great depth of water. So the water bodies on the earth's surface will be heated up by the sun rays. So these will be boils and boils will reach to the atmosphere and again it will comes back in the form of the rain. This is the known as a water cycle children. So in this lesson, so we are going to discuss about major things, mainly three. What are they? The first one is that hydrological cycle. Hydrological cycle. And the second one. And the second one was oceans. And the third one, relief of the oceans. Relief of the oceans. So these are the three major things today we are going to learn by this lesson. First of all, hydrological cycle. What do you mean by hydrological cycle? This hydrological cycle can be expressed mathematically by a small equation, that is RF is equal to, simple one, here we will write RF is equal to RO plus dt. RF means what? Rainfall. Rainfall is equal to, so runoff plus evapotranspiration. Runoff means whatever water flowing on the surface of the earth comes under runoff. And ET means evapotranspiration. It will goes into deep in the next part of the topic of the lesson. Evapotranspiration means whatever moisture received by the plants, whatever water part received by the plants and the animals, again they will be gives out into the atmosphere. That is known as evapotranspiration. That means, so rainfall will be possible majorly two activities. What is that? Whatever water through flowing on the surface. So that floated water will be heated up by the sun radiation and reach to the surface. And at the same time, so moisture or the water vapor also released by the plants and animals. That is function. So whatever moisture released by the plants and animals by their respiration process, breathe in and breathe out. In the process, whatever moisture released in the atmosphere comes under evapotranspiration. Okay, majorly the hydrological cycle involved with four activities children. What is that? Evaporation. First one, evaporation. And the second one. The second one was transportation. And the third one was condensation. And the fourth one was precipitation. By this precipitation, here the RO will comes. We will discuss one by one. Evaporation. What do you mean by evaporation? See, whatever water bodies or anything, so on the earth's surface, any object on the earth's surface or any living being on the earth's surface, so heated up or received by the temperature, because of the received temperature, some moisture comes out from their bodies. Either water bodies or the plants or animals, whatever. Okay, children. So that means whatever moisture released by fused water bodies, all water bodies, fused water bodies and all plants and animals. So that means whenever the water bodies received, because of the received temperature, they gives out the moisture. That is known as evaporation. Whenever the moisture gives out into the earth's surface, means into the atmosphere, that is comes under evaporation. Simply we could say that, so when water heated up, it converts into some gases. In the form of the gases converted into vapor. That means when water is in itself, it is a liquid form. But here what happened, because of the heated temperature, it's converted into gaseous state. That means evaporation, at the time of evaporation, the water in which stage? Vapor stage. That means gaseous stage. Okay. This moisture, when it was came out from the water bodies, that means when the moisture came out from the water bodies, this will be transported into clouds. Transported so high, where it formed, that means with that moisture, a layer formed in the atmosphere, that is comes under clouds. Here what happened? What is there in this? What is present in these clouds? That is moisture. It's moisture. So when this moisture was situated at a particular place in different shapes, that is known as clouds. Understanding, children? So this is comes under transportation. That means when the moisture transported from water bodies to the atmosphere in the form of the clouds comes under transportation. In this way, the transported moisture still also it is in the vapor condition, that means gaseous condition only. So whenever the cool air, when it was reached to the cool air, when this moisture consisted clouds received by the cool air, there it will happen. That means, see, usually water vapor have heat in sense. That means when the water was heated up, that means the heated air along with the moisture rise up and form as cloud. So when the cool air heated this cloud, it will comes under this vapor started to convert or change into small tiny water droplets. Change into small or tiny water droplets. This condition is known as condensation. This condition is known as the third condition. Third stage, condensation. When the gaseous condition, gaseous stated water vapor or moisture converts into water droplets, that is known as condensation. In this way, when the moisture condenses into small tiny water droplets, because of the gravitational pull of the earth, it will be falls to the ground. This is known as precipitation. So, in this way, these are the four stages of water cycle that we found on the Earth's surface regularly and continuously. So, don't think this is only happens. This will only happens in the summer. It will be continuous in all seasons. Maybe that means the velocity or the amount of the moisture releasing coming precipitation may be different in different seasons, but this will be continued. Understand? So here we are telling that first one, evaporation, and the second one, transportation, and the third one, condensation, and the fourth one, precipitation. Once we briefly discuss, that means when the moisture came out of the water resources or any bodies on the earth's surface because of the heated temperature, so they will be comes into moisture. This moisture, when the moisture gathered from these all bodies on the earth's surface, known as evaporation. Whatever amount of the moisture reached into the atmosphere comes under evaporation. This moisture shifted or transported into some separate spheres. So there it was known as transportation. That means the moisture was transported to the higher layers. Okay. So there in the form of different shapes of clouds. You observe here clouds. Okay. This transported moisture, because of when it was this will travel, it won't be constant at a particular, it will be travels. When the cloud was traveling, when it was moving at a cool air point, there this gaseous staged moisture converts into water droplets, small water droplets. There it was known as condensation. So when the moisture was converted into water droplets, it cannot be retained in the atmosphere because of the weighted one. Weighted objects, however, could be reached to the earth's surface. The weighted objects, because of the gravitational pull of the earth, should be comes to the ground. If I throw this duster, it will comes to the ground, isn't it? Like the Newton law. So in this way, because of the weighted so water droplets, however, it will be comes to the ground in the form of the rain. Major form of the precipitation we call it as rain, but many other forms of the precipitation also there. That means the precipitation will be in different forms. Major one, what we observed, rain, and another one, sleet, snow, fog, dew, hail, etc. These are the other forms of the precipitation rather than the rain. The best form of the precipitation, the huge amount of the precipitation of the moisture reached to the earth's surface in the form of the rain. But another one also the sleet. What do you mean by sleet? Sleet means, so when the condensed water droplets traveling into the two coolest point, so there only they will be, again they will become as solid. That means it becomes solid in the atmosphere only. There it will be forms. That means these all the water droplets come close and like a sheet they will form. For example, when we observe the refrigerator, under the deeper part of the refrigerator there will be one basket. If we observe that basket, sometimes a sheet, that's ice sheet. Of course, we observe ice cubes in the deeper fridge where we keep the ice cubes box. Rather than that, under that, whatever shelf is, that shelf will be filled with thickest sheet of the ice. Did you observe or not? Like paper like. So that is comes under sleet. Okay. So after traveling that, if it may be reached to somewhat temperature consistent layers of the air, there it will be comes to the falls to the ground in the form of the powder like. This is comes under snow. So wherever, so rather than that, so when we are traveling somewhat temperature, then what will happen? That snow so will be falls on the flax coated leaves like droplets. Usually in winter season we observe these all kinds. In winter season, so when we observe a green garden, so we will be travel. We will start to walk, but when return back, we will be observed some mud on our trousers. How it kind means, at the beginning we observed it is a dry, but the small water droplets, tiny water droplets are there on the stem of the grass. Small droplets. That is known as dew. So that is known as dew. And fog means when the snowfall is in the form of smoke because of the small air molecules travel that moisture with great force. That is considered fog. And in the second stage we observe sleet. No, sometimes that means this sleet will become small solid ice cubes in the atmosphere based on the different temperature levels. That means when the moisture traveling to coldest point, so there this water droplet becomes as ice cubes. Those ice cubes are known as hail, children. So hailstones. Usually in our Andhra Pradesh, because of this hailstorm in some areas, for example Telangana or somewhere, so that means the cotton crop is going to damage because of the hailstorm. Understanding? So in our childhood maybe we have a great experience about this hails or hailstorm. So these are the different types of precipitations. Okay, children. So however, that means water that we are receiving onto the earth's surface, this is just 2.75% only. That means water that we feel, which is in the form of, so out of this 2.7% total available fresh water, only 68.7% will be in the form of the ice. That means the fresh water is available in the form of the ice, 68.7%. That means out of this 2.75, if you take as 10%, in that 68.7% will be in the form of the ice. Okay, and 29.9% will be in the form of different water resources like rivers, lakes, etc. Rivers, lakes, or otherwise streams, canals, these all. Okay, children. That means 68.7% is in the form of the ice, and 29.9% is in the form of groundwater. What is available, that is in the form of groundwater, 29.9%. Only 0.26% of the water only that we are getting so in the form of the rain, where it will be filled by the rivers, lakes, etc. Okay, that means totally there was a 67.75% of the water. So nearly that means 97.25%. 97.25% of the water available only in the form of the seas. That means completely saline water, salty water. That means whatever amount, huge amount of the water available on the earth's surface, that is 97.25% is completely available in the form of the salt water. That means on the seas. By the seas and oceans, whatever amount, huge amount of water is available on the earth's surface. That means the fresh water in the sense, we would say that 2.75% in that. So 2.75%, if you take it as a percent, 68.7% is in the form of the ice and 29.9% is in the form of the groundwater, which is available in the deeper part of the ground, and only 0.26%, that means less than 1%. Only that water what we visible in the form of the rivers, lakes, etc. children. See, is it not getting surprised? We thought that we observed a small stream of the Godavari. Oh, how great it is! How great depth of the water, like that we feel. But so whatever fresh water available on the earth's surface in the form of the rivers, lakes, or reservoirs. So these are just less than 1%. Okay, children. So this is about hydrological cycle. So what we discussed today, that is water reaches from the oceans to the land and land to the ocean. Is all possible by the hydrological cycle on the 4 activities or 4 stages of the hydrological cycle. Now we are discussing another topic is that oceans. See, in the first class, second class we discussed that the oceans and continents are comes under first order landforms. Second order landforms. Okay. Oceans and continents are comes under oceans and continents. First of all, man discovered these only. Later, the mountains, plateaus, and plains. So these are comes under first order landforms. Again, we are remembering that second lesson. And what among the what we mountains, plateaus, plains we observed on the land part are also there in the taper part of the ocean also. That means so that mountains, plateaus, plains, that whatever we observed both on above the land and also ocean. These are comes under second order landforms. Second order landforms. And whatever different landforms formed by shaped shaped on the mountains, plateaus and plains by the work of the air and water. Air and water, by the work of air and water, whatever different landforms that we found on the mountains, plateaus and plains, these are comes under third order landforms. Third order landforms, that means gorges, canyons, waterfalls, glaciers, river valleys, delta, these all are comes under different landforms shaped by the work of the air and water, children. Okay, so now we are discussing about oceans. What do you mean by oceans? See, we usually call that ocean is a word, usually we use, but that the real definition we should give to the sea. Sea means what? The salt water body, the salt water body which surrounded by a piece of land. Remember children, oceans are having major portion on the earth comes to the land part. More than 71%, waters only we have 21%, 29% only land part we have. Okay, so that's why whatever small piece of land covered by a small water body, that is comes under sea. See, in the ancient period there was no more segregation of ocean. There was only single super ocean. What is the name of single super ocean? There was only one single super ocean, that is Panthalsa. Later, when the land part started to move and separated into different parts by the ocean water, there we term them as different continents and oceans. Okay, children. Now we are discussing about oceans and their important parts. Oceans and their important parts. First of all, what are the major important oceans that we have on the Earth's surface? Major, we have four great oceans. What is that? First one, Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean. And the second one, based on the depth I am telling, the Atlantic Ocean. And the third one, the Indian Ocean. What we call as Hindu Mahasamudra as per our Sanskrit. The Indian Ocean. And the fourth one, which is the smallest one, that is Arctic Ocean. But that Antarctic Ocean also considered as a Antarctic Ocean was also considered as the separate ocean, but this is mostly 3/4 above of this ocean was seems with the thickest fur of ice. This was completely in frozen form of the ice, so that this was not considered as the ocean. Okay, and another thing, this Antarctic Ocean is the southern parts of these three, means Atlantic, Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean. Not this one. So Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, southern part only known as Antarctic Ocean. So mainly we call it as there were four great oceans. Okay, children. Now we are discussing about the oceans and their parts.
సార్ ఒకసారి మొత్తం నీట్గా చెప్పారా క్లాత్తో చెప్పేసుకోండి చేశాను నీట్గాని క్లాత్తో సార్ తుడిచేసుకోండి బాగాలేదు. వైట్గా రాయండి, ఇది కనిపించట్లేదు. పెద్దగా రాయండి, కొంచెం చిన్నగా రాస్తాను.
So ocean.
స్టార్ట్ చేశానా?
Continue classes.
అదే కంటిన్యూ పాస్లో పెట్టాను ఇప్పుడు చెరపడం కోసం. ఓకేనా? 28 నిమిషాలు అయింది. ఒక 5-6 నిమిషాలు చెప్పండి. ఒక 10 మినిట్స్ చెప్పొచ్చు.
Children, so we usually observe the land part when we are discussing about a part of the land. We usually observe what are the different features that we found on the Earth's surface. That means that land surface, maybe mountains, plateaus, plains like. In the same way, that means for a better understanding, that means we can classify the ocean water or the ocean part into major four parts. Those are continental shelf, continental slope, deep sea plain or abyssal plain, and the fourth one was ocean deep or trench. Among that, the first one, continental shelf. This continental shelf consisted with 7.6% of the total ocean area. After total ocean area, that means the continental shelf that is consist with only 7.6%. Okay, the depth of this oceanic continental shelf is 200 up to 200 meters only. The depth of the continental shelf is up to 200 meters only. So here, that is whatever ports, harbors that we are constructing is useful on this by this continental shelf. At this continental shelf only we construct the ports. So construction of ports. And another one, whatever fish deposits or mineral deposits like petroleum, natural gas, everything is available So total fish wealth and fish and mineral wealth available at this continental shelf. That means whatever sea we know. So when we are going into the deep water, up to here only our work, our journey is over into the sea, into the ocean, simply. But we feel that we reach so deep, but not so deep. Up to here only man can able to stand the pipes or directly he could reach that ocean part. That is continental shelf. And the next one is that continental slope. The second part of the ocean part is known as continental slope, children. This continental slope starts from 200 to 3000 meters depth. 200 meters to 3000 meters, up to 3000 meters depth. Whatever ocean part that we found, that is known as continental slope. Okay, children. This consists total 15% of the total ocean area. Out of, for example, we take any ocean, so out of that only that means 15% up to 15% the continental slope will be there. Okay, and this continental slope is useful for us submarines to move the submarines, that means show deeper part, move the submarines to discover about the minerals or the deeper fish deposits or any other sea creatures under the floor of the ocean. So we observe, we go through these submarines, we could send the submarines. And we found deep canyons also. Deep canyons under the ocean floor also we found right at this continental slope. Okay, and these canyons under the floor formed by the glaciers and rivers. Okay, and the third one is that deep sea plain. Deep sea plain or abyssal plain, which consisted in 76.2%, and the depth of this deep sea plain is 3000 meters to 6000 meters, up to 6000 meters depth. Whatever part of the ocean we found, that is known as deep sea plain or abyssal plain. The very few specialties are there about this abyssal plain is that it is the flattest and smoothest regions in the world. Most flattest and smoothest regions we found in the world, there is only in the ocean abyssal plain. And the last one is that the ocean deep or trench. What do you mean by trench? Trench means the shallow land. The shallow land in the so deeper part of the ocean where what we found, it is known as oceanic deep or oceanic trench. So the average depth of any trench in the world is 6000 meters. But so up to now man discovered the trenches up to 11,022 up to 11,022 meters depth that man discovered. The trench where we observed is known as Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, where it is known as Pacific Ocean. And the next second one is that this Mariana Trench was also known as Challenger Trench. This Mariana also known as Challenger, another name of this Challenger. And the second ocean depth that what we found, the second one is that Puerto Rico Trench. Puerto Rico Trench. This was also discovered at Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean with the depth of 10,475 meters. And the third one is that we found, that is Mariana Trench. Puerto Rico Trench. Puerto Rico is over already. So Challenger, Puerto Rico. Okay, children. In the next class we discuss balance part of the lesson hydrosphere.